talking about different kinds of weather, and we read a story yesterday on tornadoes. And so in science, we are going to talk about the Earth's weather and seasons. And in our chapter, we're going to learn about the water cycle, which I kind of talked about a little bit yesterday, evaporate, condensate, migrate, hibernate, lightning, tornado, and hurricane. So those are all of the vocabulary words that we will be working on throughout this chapter. Our first lesson, which goes perfect with reading this week, is called What Are Some Kinds of Weather? And remember on Monday, we made a word web on the board with all the different kinds of weather.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can learn anything new. It says, you wake up in the morning, how do you know what to wear?
Look out the window.
Check the weather. So John says, look out the window. You are right. You need to check the weather by maybe looking out the window. What else could you do? Hayden.
You could also look at your phone and see the weather app.
Yeah, maybe if you have a phone, or maybe your parents have a phone and they may want to check the weather app. And that app will tell you what the weather is like. Or it might even tell you the temperature of the weather. Addie, what else could you do?
You could wake up, get out of bed, and walk outside and see how cold it
Yeah,
is.
sometimes you even have to walk out the door. Because maybe you'll look out the window and it looks very nice, but when you walk outside, it's very cold. So yeah, so sometimes when you look with your eyes, that doesn't always tell you the truth because you gotta actually walk out to feel it.
Or you could look at the weather app.
Right. Wyatt.
Asking.
Yeah, you could ask somebody. You might want to ask your mom and dad because that's kind of their job to help you guys because you guys aren't able yet
To go
to
outside by
be
yourself.
responsible to look up or to check the weather so your parents or an adult should know.
I know how to do that.
How would your mom and dad know? Elias, what do you think? Or did you have another idea? Okay. What is your idea?
Look on the TV.
Perfect. That's what I was just getting at. Your parents might want to look at the TV, watch the news, because on the news,
Oh, I was gonna say that.
on the news, they usually have the weather report where they tell you what the weather is going to be like. They can prepare you. Mason.
Open the window.
Yeah, if you don't go outside, maybe just open your window.
So you can feel the cold
You
air.
can kind of feel it. Lewis.
That's what I do. If you have a shirt off or you don't have any pants on, just hop outside and see how cold it is.
No, that would be
No,
really
that's
silly.
so weird. How hot it is.
But yeah,
That
Lewis,
is
you
really,
might want to go outside, but make sure you're prepared to go outside.
No.
Corla.
Or you could. I would do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Corla, just say
because
the
you
right
live on a farm.
Okay, I think you're ready for it.
Any mom comes by your house, I love it. I would have it dark outside, but we just go outside because we wake up really early and we don't get.
Yeah. So when it's dark outside and you can't see it or you don't want to go out and feel it, does your mom help you pick out your clothes for the next day?
I just know how warm it is, and
just
we just wear a sweater and
All right, last thing, Kinsley, and then we're gonna move on.
I pick my outfit before I go to bed. Yeah, that's what sometimes I do. That's what I do. That's what mom tells us that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Pick your clothes
After
before you go to
school.
bed. Maybe look to see what the weather's gonna be like for tomorrow, and then pick your clothes according to the
Yeah,
weather.
pick your clothes so you can get on the bus.
Right. Now, the weather is the air outside and what it is like. Temperature tells you how hot or cold something is. And then another thing you can do is look for any clouds, because if there's lots of clouds, the clouds a lot of times block the sun, so then it doesn't warm up very warm. And then also look to see if the tree branches are moving and if the wind is blowing. So if the wind is blowing, that also also cools things down. So if there's clouds or wind, that's another sign that it's gonna be cool. Then down here it says, a windy day is perfect for flying a kite. So that is one thing you need wind for, is to fly a kite. All right, now, let's talk about weather that is wet and dry. Clouds can help tell you what kind of weather is coming. Did we learn that yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned the different kinds of clouds a little bit, and next week, remember I said we're gonna make some clouds? And clouds are made up of drops of water and small pieces of ice. When the small pieces of ice join together, they start to fall. Now, down here it says snowflakes fall in cold weather. Blizzards are snowstorms with strong winds. In warm air, snow melts into rain as it falls. So if it's warm out, the precipitation will melt and just turn into rain. If it's cold out, the precipitation will
Fall down.
yeah, fall down and it'll freeze and it'll be snowflakes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes this happens,
It was supposed to
and this is kind of dangerous.
It was raining.
Sleet is rain that freezes as it falls.
You could slip.
And that's when it gets slippery and icy. Do you remember that one day we got out of school early because of the weather?
On the way.
Yeah.
On the
That's
way here
because
to this today.
it was
It
sleety,
was
which
icy
is
on the sidewalk.
freezing
I
rain,
mean,
which means the roads were icy and then snow fell on top of that. Snow, rain, and sleet are different kinds of wet weather. Okay? Now, another one is hail. And hail is pieces of ice that fall from clouds. So that's actual pieces of ice. And then up here it says, some places get snow in the winter. Do we get snow?
yes.
Now, heavy rains can fall in spring and summer. So sometimes in the spring and the summer we get heavy rains too. Wyatt,
When it's like sleet or there's a lot of snow, you have to put chains on your
yes, you might have to put chains on your tires for traction, right? Good. Charlotte,
My dad had to do that on his bobcat. I remember I still had that, like, the ice falling down from that, like, the camp I went to.
yeah,
The ice.
the ice.
It kind of scared me.
A little bit. John,
I got two things. So on the bus, so like a long time ago, nobody knew. That ain't mine. The road was super icy, so we went in the ditch, but people were trying to take me over, but they didn't.
because it was too strong, right? That's good. But yeah, that's kind of dangerous.
Like, it's this friend called her mom, and she picked me up.
That's good. So you were safe.
Then my friend, went down the line,
That's good.
Dad, but then Dad's tractor, put a crack on the road, and me and my mom been in a hailstorm before.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. Okay, I'm going to get you two in just a minute, okay? Now, on the last page of this lesson, it says a drought can happen when it does not rain for a long time. So this is dry weather. A drought is one kind of dry weather. There may not be enough water for many plants and animals during a drought. So, if you look here, during a drought, the ground will start to crack. It looks like it's breaking into pieces. And that's because there's not enough moisture to keep it together. And some plants might not survive. If we ever have a drought, a lot of the crops will dry up and they'll shrivel up and they'll die. Is it good to have a drought?
No.
Is it good to have lots of rain and have a flood?
No.
No, droughts and floods are opposites. And tomorrow we're going to learn their antonyms. They're opposites. We don't want either one. We don't want flooding, where there's a lot of rain, And we don't want droughts where there's no rain. Now, another thing is the land can be very dry in a drought, and a lot of animals won't be able to survive. Why won't animals be able to survive there? What do you think, Ellie? Okay, I'm sorry, Ellie, what did you think?
It's really dry.
It's really dry? Elias, what do you think?
Because they won't have enough water.
They won't have any water, will they? Yep, they won't have any water to grow. All right, now, we're going to watch a little video really quickly about weather. And then, oh, before we do that, I said, Keaton, you can share.
Outside, when me and Tyson were playing tag, I kept slipping.
You kept slipping?
Me too.
So it was icy up there, huh?
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Me too. I was keep
All right,
slipping.
Kinsley.
I kept that's how I got in an accident because it was slipping.
Slippery.
Slippery out.
Yep. All right, last one.
Getting the most dangerous storm that can ever happen.
What is that?
And you can watch this video, but I'll give you a hint. You have to take it. So, it's a big giant wave, and it happened in Japan in 2011. Tsunami. Yep.
Tsunami. You're right. All right.
People tend to buy this. You gotta think of a harder one.
Whoa, that's really quiet. Let me try this.
I cannot hear that.
Yes. Whoa.
A remote. Finally opened my nose.
Did you guys hear that?
No. Not that big. It should feel like a TV. That's quiet. It's the only thing that can hear.
Partly cloudy.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Sunny. This is when the sun is out and shining and there are no clouds covering it up. It's usually nice and warm when it's sunny. Partly cloudy. This is when there are some clouds partly covering the sun. When it's partly cloudy, it's usually cool outside. Cloudy. Clouds are made up of water droplets and vapor and hang high in the sky. Clouds can hide the sun's light and even bring rain. Foggy. Fog is like a cloud because both are made up of water droplets. But fog is different from a cloud because instead of being in the sky, it hangs low, close to the ground. Sometimes it's even thick enough that you can feel it when you walk through it. Rainy. When temperature or air pressure changes, it starts to rain. The water droplets fall to the earth, making everything wet. Windy. Warm air weighs less than cool air, so warm air rises and cool air comes underneath to replace it. This creates wind. Lightning. Energy created by clouds can cause lightning, a bright flash of electricity. Lightning can be beautiful but also very dangerous. So if you hear thunder or see lightning, be sure to get inside and stay there until the storm passes. Tornado. Tornadoes can sometimes happen during bad storms when a column of air comes spiraling toward the ground. Tornadoes are very violent and dangerous and can tear apart houses, pick up and move cars, and even uproot trees. Hail. Hail is when chunks of ice are formed by rising winds in a thunderstorm. Once the ice gets heavy enough, it falls right to the ground. Hurricane. A hurricane is a massive storm. It can cause the same kind of damage as a tornado if it's bad enough, but it can also last as long as a week. Hurricanes can have high winds, rain, thunder, lightning, hail, or tornadoes. Snow. Snow is formed when water vapor in clouds turns to ice without first turning into water. Snow can be soft and beautiful or fall fast like a rainstorm. Rainbow.
We never saw this yesterday, did we, or Monday?
Formations. They occur when light from the sun passes through raindrops. Even if sunlight looks white, it's actually made up of lots of colors, and the rain reflects all of those different colors. helps to make a rain.
Just find a leprechaun and go,
Thanks for
give me all
watching.
your